Morning. You know, when we first got this place, a couple of years ago now, I thought it'd be lovely living out in the country, of course, and it is. And over here we've got our own paddock, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to have some horses, you know, so or ponies, so the grandkiddies could ride them, and maybe I could learn how to ride a horse. And when I looked into what it would cost to get a couple of horses, I thought, oh, no way, Jose. You can buy a decent motorbike for what it costs for horses, and then there's the upkeep of them and all that. Anyway, a few weeks ago there was a thing on the local Facebook page. Somebody was looking for somewhere to graze a couple of horses, and being the dumb city boy, I thought, yeah, we get the horses without the responsibility. And so here we have Ginger and Chase, and they're lovely old horses. They're a couple of old girls. Hi Ginger, how you doing, sweetie? An apple? So she's, they're both about 30 years old apparently. The owners are trying to decide what they're going to do with them. You know, I certainly wouldn't ride one because I'm not a horse rider. Yeah, Ginger's the sweetest one. When the owners have been here, they've had the grandkids up on her. Chase, on the other hand, apparently he's friendly enough, but he's a bit of a dick. She. But they are lovely horses. Anyway, let me show you the paddock. And they drop their calling card here and there. There's Sasha's gotten used to them. It's all big things, eh? They're big things. Yeah, so come with me out to the paddock and I'll show you what I mean. When the owners came down and had a look at the paddock, and I said to them, "Are you sure there's going to be enough grass in here for the 2 horses and our 4 sheep?" "Oh yeah, no problem at all." Not so much, because just after a month and this was a all long as, I just know 2 horses could create so much shit. Holy moly. The whole place is just piles after pile after pile of horse poo everywhere. And the grass is right down low. The hottest month, February, to come, where everything will dry out completely. Still a bit of water in the pond over there. Let's see how close that duck will let us get. Bye bye. Yeah, so by the end of next month that'll be completely dry. We've had a much wetter summer so far than normal. They just recently imposed a fire ban, which is 2 months later than usual. Horse poo here, horse poo there. What a load of shite. Another little adventure that we had. A storm a few weeks ago brought down this big gnarly branch from an old buggered up oak tree or whatever it is. I've cut this away from the fence. I've got to figure out how to fix the fence properly. But there's a bit of firewood there and a bit more to be had from that lot. So what I have been doing is coming into the paddock with the old wheelbarrow and a shovel and picking up horse poo, and I've done from the gate across to here, that's clear, and I'll slowly work that way, because they tell me if you compost it down, it's good for the garden, but you can't put it on straight away. So there you go, there's a pile of shit, horse poo. And what somebody's told me is make a big pile of it, leave it for 6 weeks or so, it'll break down. Then you can start putting it into your compost or onto your garden beds. Hey, Jessie girl. So with the horses here, because man, they drink a lot of water. The sheep hardly any at all. Apparently the sheep will get most of their moisture from the grass. So it's only ever on a really hot day that you see the sheep at the trough. But I was watching the horses take a drink, and you can actually see the level of the trough dropping. So between picking up horse poo and making sure they had plenty of water, I thought we were just letting the people graze a couple of horses. I didn't realise there was going to be so much work for me, even though they come down every few days and feed them some gruel or something because they're so old. But they still manage to eat all the grass, and luckily the farmer who owns the farm that we're on, when I was chatting to him, he said that we were welcome to let the horses out here. For him, this front paddock here is more of a nuisance than anything. Hey, Jessica. So that's bloody good of him. So just it was yesterday we let them out. Oh, they've had a day before yesterday in the evening. Let them out into here so they can wander around. And there's a working trough over here for their water. I don't have to worry about that. So now for me it's just a matter of making sure they're still around, coming and saying hello to them every now and then. There's a trough for them to drink, full of that weed like the pond's got, but they don't seem to mind that. And they get through it. My new rides that weren't, they're really dumb train driver thinking it'd be lovely to look out the window and see a couple of horses. And Trish tried to warn me against it. No, that's too much work there, but we won't have to do any work. Oh. But they are lovely, lovely creatures. And this one here especially, she's very, very friendly. Aren't you, girl? Hey? You're a lovely girl. Yeah. And that's all they do is chomp, 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 chomp. And it got to the point in the paddock where they weren't just chomp, chomp, chomping, they were walking along, sniff, 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 little nibble, sniff, 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 little nibble. They're both on borrowed time. The owners, they belong to their daughter. She lives on a farm miles and miles away. Until they decide what to do, they aren't transporting them the 400 k's to the other place. So now that they're out here, I'm happy. I just got to pick up all the poo. That's my story of the the battered ego. The silly city boy trying to be a country boy. And my new rides that weren't, huh? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.